Good evening. I'm Bob Shelley, and I want to welcome you all this evening. We have an amazing, amazing show this evening for you. And we want to thank Cindy Sacrin and the entire C&E Committee, because without them, we would not be able to be doing the kind of shows we have done. As you know, it's been almost impossible during this time of the year, with what's going on with the pandemic, to have entertainment. But we've been very blessed to have with us tonight somebody who lives in the area, travels around the world, one of the greatest pianists in the world today, and he's only 14 years old. And you're going to be in for such a treat. We watched the rehearsal, and I can't tell you how phenomenal he is. And then along with him, our own Geniene Shelley will be here for a few of the beautiful holiday songs. And I think tonight is just the beginning of a great future. We hope to continue this through the year. Every month we want to have another theme, another show. And hopefully if we can convince Brandon to come back, we would have him back with us again. But I can only say you are in for a treat. And I'm going to turn this over now to Judy Scott. She's going to have a little interview with him, let you know a little about Brandon and his history and what got him into this. But I will tell you, it's kind of embarrassing when he's 14 years old, and wait till you hear. You will not think about his age once you hear him. Have a wonderful holiday and a healthy one.
Hi, everybody. My name is Judy Scott Lotwin. And before we begin our program today, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy, healthy, safe New Year. The Cultural and Entertainment Committee is just so proud and happy to bring to you this program today of a very talented pianist and composer, 14-year-old Brandon Goldberg. Brandon.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Well, Brandon, when did you start to play the piano? And we knew you had a little something different.
I started to play the piano when I was 3. There was a piano in the house, and one day I came home from preschool and I started playing the songs I heard. And there was a piano teacher in the neighborhood, and she would come by the house. And because my mom could tell that I was able to hear the songs I heard and play them or try and mimic them back on the piano, there was a piano teacher from the neighborhood that came to our house to try and work with me. And the exercise, or what she wanted me to work on, was see if I could identify the notes, like C is here on the piano, or and so on. And one day my mom was working with me trying to do that. This is in the very beginning.
At 3 years old, this
At
is.
3 or 4 years old, yeah. And my mom realized that I was able to hear the notes and identify the notes without looking at the piano. And that's when we figured out that I have perfect pitch. And I'm able to hear anything that someone plays me, and I'm able to play it back.
What type of music were you listening to at 3 years old?
At 3 years old, I was listening to anybody that my parents would play for me, that my grandparents would play for me. In the beginning, my parents and my grandparents played for me a lot of Andrea Bocelli, and I would listen to that and play that on the piano for a while.
Oh my goodness.
And then I got into a Frank Sinatra phase for a really long time. Well, not too long, because I'm only 14, but...
It's a good phase to go into, let me tell you something. All right.
So I listened to Frank Sinatra for a while because my grandparents showed me this Rat Pack video, and I was addicted to that. I mean, the way that singers like that sung back in the day, and the way that people like Nelson Riddle wrote for those singers, that was just so amazing for me. And then one day, as I was really checking out a lot of that, I found the Tony Bennett and Bill Evans albums, which are some of my favorite albums.
Absolutely.
And when I heard Bill Evans play behind Tony Bennett, and when I heard Bill Evans and people like Oscar Peterson and Herbie Hancock, when I first heard those people, that was like, wow, I really want to be able to do this. And ever since, I've really been trying to play jazz piano as best as I can. I've been so lucky to have so many people along the way, just like Chuck Bergeron, who was a really early teacher of mine when I was 6 or 7 at the University of Miami camp.
And Chuck, what instrument does Chuck play?
He's playing bass today, and
He's
I'm so
playing
lucky
bass.
to be playing with him. But people like Mr. Bergeron and Marcus Grant is someone else who really helped me out from a very early age. Playing with people like that and them teaching me, I became so inspired, and I wanted to learn more and more.
So who are your teachers now?
Right now, for classical piano, I study with Giselle Brodsky, who runs the Miami International Piano Festival, and she's helped me out a lot with my technique and just getting really comfortable on the piano, so I'm able to play anything that I can. And for jazz, I'm studying with Martin Bejarano down at the University of Miami.
How impressive. Now, tell me about when you performed at the Newport Jazz Festival. What was that like? And how old were you?
I was 13 when I played at Newport, and that's probably the biggest thing that I've done, and that probably will be the biggest thing I've done.
Oh, I don't think so.
But, I mean, Newport, everyone's played at Newport, and it's such a legendary festival. And all of my heroes have played that festival. Some of my favorite albums, Miles Davis at Newport, Duke Ellington at Newport. And to be able to play that same venue all those years later and bringing my voice to it was so special for me. And that year I got to see some of my heroes and got to hang out with some of my heroes as well. Like Herbie Hancock was playing there, Christian McBride was playing there.
And what did they say to you? I mean, were they very complimentary? Were they nice to you? I mean, because you know when you meet a big star, sometimes I wonder what they think of me.
I mean, I've gotten so lucky to be able to know some of these people, and it's like, and jazz as a whole is like a community, and it's all just one big circle. Everyone knows everybody, and I've been lucky enough to really get to know some of these people. So it's more like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I caught your set, it sounded great. One of those types of things instead of, oh my God, you're so like I'm not like really. Obviously, on the inside, I'm like fanning out and I'm going crazy that I'm being able to
Are you
talk
nervous?
to these
Were you nervous before you went on?
A little bit, especially just because I'm playing at the Newport Jazz Festival, but I'm so lucky to play with the musicians that I played with, to have the support from the jazz community that I did. It was awesome.
Tell me about Little Big Shots when you were on that program with Steve Harvey. And tell me about Steve and what it was like being on that program. I love that program, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's a great program too.
That was a couple years ago now, but that was such a cool experience because that was my first time on television like that. And
did you fly out to California?
Yeah,
to do
I flew
that?
out to California.
And how did you get on that program? Did you send a tape or a video?
So I did this competition at Carnegie Hall when I was 8 or 9, and because I did that, the people from Little Big Shots were looking and scouting out for all of these different young people that do amazing things, and they so happened that and they liked it, and they actually reached out to us about doing something, and they flew us out to California, and it was a great experience, and I've been able to do so much more because I had that exposure. I was able to meet Harry Connick.
Yeah, tell me about Harry too, working with Harry, because he's such a great musician.
He's amazing. I mean, if you check out all of his records, that's all of his writing on. Some of his bands has some of the greatest jazz musicians ever. I mean, Russell Malone's on those records, Jeff Tain Watts is on those records, Ben Wolf is on those records, and those are some great sounding records. And to know that he's a musician just like every one of those, not just someone who's singing or making great Christmas albums or making just great albums. He's really a musician, one of the best piano players out there too. It was just so awesome to get to talk to him about that, and to see how he writes for all his shows and to see how he writes for all his albums. That was awesome for me.
Oh yeah, I love him. Now, just before we conclude this interview and have you play the piano, I'd like for you to tell our audience about the jazz album that you've just recently made.
Yeah.
And where they can buy it if they want to.
So you can find my album on my website, BrandonGoldbergPiano.com. You can find it on Amazon, and if you want to listen to it, you can find it on Apple Music and Spotify. But please check out the album on my website or on Amazon. Please support the musicians, and please check it out. I hope you like it. And that's such a special project for me as well when I'm talking about the music itself, because I got to record with some pros and I got to play my original music for the first time.
So you write original music?
Yeah.
Are you going to play some of those for us today?
Yeah, I'm going to play some of... I'm actually not playing any original music today, but I'm going to play some of my arrangements that I did record, and some arrangements that I haven't recorded yet. So hope you like it.
We are going to love it. And you have a special guest today.
I'm so excited to have Geniene Shelley singing with us today. And she's going to sing some holiday music and some non-holiday music. And I'm so excited to be doing this with her.
This is really special for me to be singing What a Wonderful World and trying to recall all the beauty that's around us during this very difficult time, especially this holiday season. And it's such a great privilege for me to be singing while Brandon Goldberg plays the piano, My very first time that I had that opportunity was when he was 8 years old. So this is really exciting. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Because of my great love for the Latin community of Aventura, I wanted to sing a song that is close to all your hearts, that we all grew up with, for Hanukkah. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Dos candalicas, tres candalicas, cuatro candalicas, cinco candalicas,
6 candalicas, 7 candalicas, 8 candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas lo hacer con alegría y placer. Muchas fiestas vou fazer con alegría y placer. Oh, 1 candalicas, 2 candalicas, 3 candalicas, 4 candalicas, 5 candalicas, 6 candalicas, 7 candalicas, 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. 8 candelas para mí.
There are many different versions of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, sung all over the world by different beautiful voices. But I chose this particular version, sung by Judy Garland, because I think it's really apropos for what's going on in the world right now. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year, all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year, all our troubles will be far away. Once again, as in
so much.
Thank you so much. Marcus Grant on the drums. Chuck Bergeron on the bass. Thank you so much to Williams Island for having me today. That first song that we played was Irving Berlin's Let's Face the Music and Dance. And now we're going to play my arrangement of John Lennon and Paul McCartney's Blackbird. I hope you like it. It's a little something different, but you'll still find the melody somewhere in there. Thank you. That was Someday My Prince Will Come, as I'm sure everyone recognized. And now we're going to play some holiday music to get us in the holiday spirit. We're going to play, not Christmas music, but we're going to play some Hanukkah music. This is Hanukkah, Oh Hanukkah, and this is my arrangement of it. So it'll be a little different than what you expect, but hope you like it. Hands ready?
Yeah, I mean, ready enough.
Philly.
Let's do it.
One, two, three. Thank you. That was Thelonious Monk's Dream. And now we're going to play some more holiday music. We're going to play Vince Guaraldi's Christmas Time is Here. Give it up for Chuck Bergeron on the bass. And Marcus Grant on the drums. Yeah. I'm so lucky and I'm so excited to playing with these amazing musicians, and I hope you're enjoying what we're playing for you. So now we're going to play. Thank you. So now we're going to play something slower. We're going to play one of my favorite ballads, period. Vince Guaraldi's Christmas Time.
Give it up for Chuck Bergeron on the bass. Marcus Grant on the drums. Thank you so much to Geniene and Bob Shelley for having us here. Thank you so much to Williams Island for having us here. And thank you so much to you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to end this with a nice holiday song. We're going to end this with Winter Wonderland. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Brandon Goldberg.